much work, 167 pieces or something in the room. And so I went around a number of times to really make sure I could look at everything. And there's a lot to see and a lot to think about, a lot of really interesting ideas going on here. And of course, you only get to pick so many people. So, but that's kind of fun too, because you have to kind of narrow it down, think about what you might want to talk about, what you found of particular interest. So Roberta had organized things kind of thematically, landscape, animals, figures, abstraction, and high school work over here. There really works in so many media in the room. Painting of different kinds, textiles, sculpture, clay, found objects, encaustic, acrylic, oil, drawing. All of you really have contributed a lot to make the show interesting and rich. And it's a good evidence of the artistic activity in your community. So it's really nice to see, really nice to see. So congratulations really to all of you. It takes some bravery, I think, to enter a show, bring your work in, and put it up before the public. And I was a curator for over 30 years where I made decisions of what to show and what not to show. And sometimes you don't realize how hard it is just to put your work in the public. But it is hard. And I know that better now because I also am an amateur poet. And I never submit my work to anyone. So you're all braver than I am in that regard. So maybe I'll just go along this wall, because I have a few things on this wall, and work our way around the room. So I won't do it in the order of the awards. I'll just do it as I come to pieces that I chose in some way or another. And congratulations to everyone who was acknowledged in that way, additionally to all the rest of you. So I think the first thing I looked at, here it is, honorable mention. So this piece, that the name is wrong. My understanding is the name is Mireia de Gravia Wolf. And this piece is called El Callejón de Cleopas. Is she here? She's
not.
Okay. What I like about this painting, partly I really like the color and sort of the energy of the painting, but what I really liked was how spatially confusing it is. And by that I mean that it keeps going back and forth between being this dynamic perspective down the street, and then in this area it's almost as if there's a painting inserted into the landscape. So when I was looking at it, what interested me was kind of a double take that I had as I looked at it more closely. And I don't know if that was intentional, but I really liked it. And sometimes things just happen when people are making art, and they may not realize they're doing it, or they may realize they're doing it. And since she's not here, I can't ask her, but this is almost an abstract painting that is sort of parading as a landscape, or a landscape parading as an abstract painting. So I thought that back and forth was really interesting to me, which is one of the reasons I singled it out to talk about. So then, this painting is by Catherine Treffinger? Yeah. Is that right? Thank you. thought this was a really beautiful painting. I loved the palette. I loved the layering. I love the transparency of what's going on with the paint. Some painters love paint. They love paint. They love what paint does. And I love paint, and I love painters who are like that. So that was part of what attracted me to this. And it's also has a certain kind of mystery to it. To me, it's a landscape. It says Seraphine, so maybe to the artist it is not a landscape. But it has a very watery feel to it. Maybe you're in some kind of woods, but you're looking at something very up close where things tend to go abstract on you when you get close and you're really looking. Or it has sort of a mysterious, sort of imaginary landscape quality to it. And all of that is just this beautiful palette of colors. I mean, this is a painting you could really live with, I think. So that's what attracted me to this painting by Catherine. And then I had, these two works are by Nika Glosser. Did I say that right? Is she here? Maybe not. These say that they both have this similar title, which is Gravity House Installation Maquette. So, what's a gravity house? I mean, some of it is just like, what is that? The title is evocative. I don't know if she's actually going to create this, since it's an installation maquette, but it does kind of stimulate the imagination to wonder, if you did make this, what does that mean? Why is it gravity house? I mean, is this rain? What is it? What is gravity acting on in this? And if she did make it in a space, what would be happening? So I thought that was intriguing. And then I also liked how she did it. She poked holes in this material, which is foam board, and then there's kind of a charcoal. The gravity part seems to be the charcoal. So it leaves a lot open to kind of filling in the blanks, which I, as a curator, have always liked to do, for better or worse. Once one of my sons, when he was maybe about 14, he's way older than that now, said to me, "Mom, what are you doing when you're standing there looking at a painting?" And I was really pleased because he had given me the benefit of the doubt that I was actually doing something, that I wasn't just like doing nothing, staring at a painting. And I thought that was a really good question, because I do stuff when I'm looking at art. And a lot of what I do has to do with what the artwork makes me think about, what it makes me consider, what it makes me examine. And I explained it to him. For me, it's a little bit like reading. So I'm looking at all the decisions the artist has made and thinking, what were those decisions, and then what does that mean? So I'm working pretty hard when I'm looking at things, and I always feel that the artists in making the works are offering me that chance to read the work to myself. And so it's like an invitation in the same way that a book is. And I've always responded to that. So those are some of my thoughts on that. Then this painting here of the cow. This is just a beautifully done painting in so many ways. Again, this artist, and let me say the name, Todd Thielander, did I say that right?
Is Todd here?
Todd? Okay. Well, he really knows how to paint. And it's a different kind of painting than, say, Catherine's painting here. But I think he also really likes his medium, which is oil. And oil has these qualities of layering and translucency that artists use. So he has this soft, really close palette in terms of value, which I responded to. I responded to things like the way he makes the fence, which seems to be by maybe scratching into it, or I'm not exactly sure. I thought, however he makes these wires, it's such a nice gesture in the painting, sort of a real drawing element. And then, of course, there's the cow. And the cow, who, according to the title, is coming home, looks kind of tired and slow. And I just thought, there's just this story, and the cow is moving out of the frame. And I like that. I like the fact that, the cows, we think the cow's walking really slowly. That comes across, that come down this path and doesn't have a lot of energy left. I mean, maybe because I'm a writer, I just make this stuff up, but that's what it suggests to me. And I love the body language of the cow. And just, somebody has looked pretty closely at how this animal moves. And it just has sort of a quiet quality to it. End of the day, the light, it's the kind of light you would expect. So that's one of the reasons I just really love this painting. We should probably, I'm going to sneak this way, but you should probably all go.
Hey, Terri,
yeah.
Did you want to get this piece while we're in the neighborhood?
Oh, good plan, good plan. Forgot about that. So this sculpture is by Penny Michelle, and it's called Rock Man. And that's exactly what it is. It's a rock with the head of a man. But I liked the use of this rock, which really does feel very much like the shoulders and torso of a human being. The artist obviously saw that. There was something about it that she related to. And then the quality of this clay and the patina and the sort of salt-like quality, it has its own sort of mineral suggestiveness. Just the minimal features of it, all of those things, I just thought that it really was a beautiful pairing of this craft art of making the human figure and relating stone to clay, stone to earth. It's a really nice combination, and in terms of color, I think the relationship is very beautiful too. So, yes. Now I could do this. This painting is by Diana Woolley. It's called Happiness is Yellow on Your Wall. And I thought that was a great title. A lot of art is really somber, really serious, and this is a very upbeat painting to me. And it's also extremely well crafted. It's encaustic, so it has that waxy surface that you just want to touch, but I didn't touch it. But you want to touch it, you just sort of know what it's going to feel like. You have a sense of that texture in your hands without touching it. And then it has these wonderful colors, but it also has these humorous little dots not the, 4 dots on the dice. There's a certain just playfulness about what is included in the painting. There's some things that are very intentional, like these dots. There are other things that look like they spattered. But I think there's a grid, but the grid isn't regular. It's very interesting painting to me in terms of all the decisions that this artist made, and then the overall effect of the painting. Just sort of the emotional tone of the painting I respond to that. I love it very much.
Diana's here.
Is Diana here? Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I really enjoy the painting, and part of it is it's nice when art is uplifting, I think, and this has a sort of a spirit to it that I respond to. Yeah. Then this little piece is by Connie Betts. Is Connie here?
Yeah, she's not.
Where are these people? This is a little book, and it's called Feather Restoration. I'm not totally sure why, but look at it when you come by. It's a little handmade book, but like this is the killdeer. It's like a little book that's a little slideshow. It's like they're film strips. And this is wood duck. I just like this idea for a book. I think this is a really imaginative way to do this and to call our attention to these birds. So for me, it was a small, interesting thing that caught my attention, and I'm not totally sure why it's called Feather Restoration. It's a question I would love to have answered. But I also like, the decision to make this very small and to make it into a book. And all those things are interesting to me. It's all hand lettered, but in a very not fussy way. There's something just regular about it, and yet it still directs our attention to, I think, important things. So that's that. And then this is a table runner by Delanne, sorry, Ferguson. I just thought I would love to have this on my table. That simple. I love all the little swirly things and how it's put together. I like the palette. I like this combination of colors, and it has its own kind of exuberance, and you just have a feel for the making of it, that there's a plan in terms of the width and the length and all those things, but then a lot of it, I'm sure, just happened in the making, which I also like. So some mix of a plan and then an experiment, which I liked very much. And then there's this piece by Melissa Smirk. Is Melissa here?
She is.
Yes, we met earlier. I just think this is very beautifully crafted, beautiful colors. I like all these combinations of fabrics, gather in really it's very imaginative how it's all put together. I love the fabrics themselves, and I don't know if they're found or created. Found, that was my guess. But creating then a whole new set of images by piecing things together. And then when you get close and you see that she's changed thread color as she's quilted this, it's just a really wonderful piece. And then I also like very much how she's taken and this border is almost it's like a real contrast to the exuberance of the other colorfulness and pattern. It's very straight lace border kind of around the perimeter, almost masculine. So it's an interesting contrast that she's put together. And I think I have just have the teen works left to talk about. So this is Dakota. Kelsey is Dakota here? No? For me, for high school work, this was just kind of unexpected. It has sort of an abstract quality, but it's very graphic. It's like almost a portrait of a wall, but what wall would you actually have that had two different colors of wood like that? So there's a sort of graphic, there's an imagination at work in a very, very simple format. It's cartoon-like, but it's not cartoon-like. You know, there's a lot of things like that, and this kind of very close, interesting palette, and I like the formality of it and the cartooniness of it. So I thought for high school work it was really an interesting direction. This piece is just bizarre, so I had to pick it. And it's by Cody Belgard, and it's called Bonnie. Bonnie! Poor Bonnie! But, I mean, that's just like crazy. So, you know, I could never imagine this. This is outside the scope of what I would imagine. 2 rows of teeth. It's almost like the person has a second denture in the bottom of the mouth. There are all these wires coming out of the eyeballs. If the mouth was closed, would the whole face be covered? You know, how does this work? So this again is kind of cartoon-like, but bizarre, surreal, all those things. And very puzzling. I have no idea what this means or totally what it's about, but I probably could make some more stuff up. It kind of is an invitation to fill in the blanks, which, as I've said, I like art that wants me to work a little bit. And then the last piece that will go around the room is this piece by Taylor Craig called Red. And I like that title. I mean, if we look at what's red, the red polka dots, the red lips, the red lipstick, the polka dots of the fingernails, the red dress. I like all those little, there's a sort of a rhythm and accents that pull you through the piece, which I like very much. And then I liked the quality of the line of the back, the arms, the shoulder, the front of the chest. All those lines are really interesting to me. To me, I like this in part because I felt like it was some combination of observed and invented. Instead of copied or just, you don't think she had a model in front of her. Part of it comes out of her imagination, but you also feel like she knows enough about like life drawing or how the body works to be able to make these kind of very suggestive and right-on lines in describing the figure. So I think there's a lot of work that's gone into being able to do something that appears so simple. So that's why I chose that one.